Hey everybody, and welcome back to my new and long awaited card series. I wanted to focus on showing you different card making techniques, and in each video in this series I will be showing you how to use those techniques 3 different type of ways. So for the first set of cards, I wanted to share with you my 3 favorite techniques for making shaker cards. And if you would like to see how I created these 3 awesome cards, then keep on watching. So we're going to jump right into card 1 with a lot of our parts already prepared. So I have my A2 card base, and then I also have this wooden textured paper that I already prepared a frame out of using a die from my stash. I'm going to be placing the center of that frame right back in with some temporary tape, and we are going to attach this to the back so that this can be the background for our shaker. So we want this to be in the center of the card base. So I just put my adhesive only on the inside of the frame, and we're going to center that up as good as we can and press that down. And now we have the background for our shaker where we need it. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is taking out my stamp positioning tool, and on the craft cardstock I wanted kind of like a basket sort of texture, so I really wanted to go for kind of a fruit basket theme for this card. So I have this stamp set in my stash, which is just like some basket weaving texture and kind of vintage looking. So I used Vintage Photo to stamp around that wooden background of the shaker, and we're going to do that for all 4 sides on this craft cardstock. And like I said, I'm using the Vintage Photo. And then once we get to the shorter sides of the cards, I used a shorter basket weave stamp, and I just placed my Vintage Photo ink only in the center of the stamp, just so that I didn't get too much overlap and make the pattern all messed up. So this is just adding a little extra bit of decorativeness to the card. And like I said, I also wanted to go for kind of a fruit basket themed. So now I have my acetate prepared. You're always going to need a piece of acetate when you're doing a shaker card because you have to keep your shaker bits inside. I'm using a tape runner, and I'm going to glue down that acetate. And then we are going to go in with foam tape, which is also going to be something that you need to create a shaker card. Or in our third card today, I'll show you a different way of how to make a shaker frame without foam tape. But for this card here, we are going to be using foam tape. This is a half an inch foam tape. I actually only own an inch foam tape, and I cut it in half to create a 1/2 inch piece of foam tape that will fit around this frame. And I'm taking my time to make sure that each of the sides has no gaps. You really don't want any gaps when you're creating a shaker card. You want to make sure that all of your foam is really close together because you don't want any spillage of your shaker bits. So I am taking this red sequin mix that I have. It has a couple of stars and hearts and different size red sequins. And then I'm taking these gold sequins, and I'm also going to be using that for my shaker bits. And now I'm taking off that foam tape, and I'm using an anti-static powder tool, which is also going to be really helpful. It gets rid of all the stickiness around the foam tape, so that your shaker bits won't get stuck in the corners. And now I'm placing that frame, and I'm being very careful to press it down firmly so that none of my shaker bits come spilling out. And that pretty much wraps up this card. I did go ahead and add some extra embellishments on it. I added a sentiment and some fruit onto it. And that is pretty much it. For the inside, I did put Love You Bunches. And we are going to be moving on to our second shaker card. And for this shaker card, I wanted to show you how to create a shaker card utilizing your front panel of the card. So I went ahead and cut out this watercolored cardstock using a rectangle framelit that I have. And for this card, I'm going to be using a die set that I purchased from AliExpress, and it helps you to create like a gumball machine or kind of like a globe sort of situation. So just like our first card, I'm going to be replacing the center of the frame back into the front panel and then gluing that down onto the card base. So just like how we did in the first one. And now we are going to be adding on the acetate sheet onto the back of that front panel. And then we are going to be decorating the front. This card is pretty much simple just because the front panel is printed paper and I thought that was already busy, so I didn't want to add too much. So I just die cut out the components for the gumball machine. And now we are going to be foam taping the back of the card front. And a little trick, if you have a circular shaped window for your shaker card, is to remove the backing paper from both sides of your foam tape, and that will allow you to curve the foam tape to fit around your window. And for the shaker bits in this card, I stamped and die cut a bunch of little emoji faces that I also have in my stash. It's from a stamp set that I also purchased from AliExpress. There it goes right there. It's a little gumball machine with a bunch of little faces. And I just cut them out, colored them, and we're going to be using those as shaker bits. And now I'm going to be placing down my front panel onto the card base and remembering to press down really firmly to make sure that none of your shaker bits fall out. And that pretty much wraps up card 2. Really simple, really sweet and cute. And I decided to embellish it with just a simple sentiment. For card number 3, we're going to get just a little bit more elaborate. So I have my card base prepared, and I also have a piece of navy cardstock for my front panel. And for this card, I decided to ink blend a cloud stencil with white pigment ink onto my card front. We are going to be doing this kind of like a nighttime sky fairy themed. So I thought this would be really cute utilizing the white ink on a darker cardstock. I'm also going to be using some white acrylic paint to splatter the background with some little drops and little fairy dust. So I do go in with white, and I also go in with a silver distress sprayer, and I use that with a art brush. So for the actual shaker, I'm going to be using this jar die. And what I did was I cut the jar frame out multiple times from heavyweight cardstock. And we're going to be layering these on top of each other. So this is another solution if you have a shape of an object that you want to use as your shaker window. So we're just going to be layering those down one on top of each other. And taking our time to do that because you really don't want to have any excess glue seepage, because that will prevent your shaker bits from moving freely in the jar and they'll kind of get stuck in the corners. So for this one as well, I decided to layer 5 jars, and before I glued down my last jar frame, I sandwiched in the acetate sheet. So you want to put your acetate sheet down first and then go ahead and glue on your final jar, and this is going to be the top that's exposed. So I went ahead and I did that. And I also decorated the background with a stamp that says, "May all your dreams come true." And I also added a lid to my jar. And now I'm dumping in my shaker bits. So I used some iridescent stars, and then I also used some silver stars for this card as well. I thought it would complement my theme really nice with the sky. And I am adding quite a few shaker pieces and bits into this card because my jar is pretty big. Now I'm going to be placing that down. I did use my anti-static powder tool as well. We're going to be placing that down, and we're going to give it a little shake to make sure that everything is moving and everything is looking really good, which it does. I'm very happy with that. So off to the side, you saw a little cloud border that I cut out. Now I'm just placing down some foam tape to adhere the cloud border to the bottom of my card front. And I also in advance cut out, stamped, and colored some little fairies from the Fairy Agenda stamp set. And I'm going to be using that to embellish the card as well. And that pretty much wraps up card 3. It was really simple but a little bit more elaborate, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video in this series, and until the next time, I will see you guys later. Bye bye.